compression, any other format, could be MPEG or any other standard video file. The creation of the video file is what you then see. The next step that was shown to you was taking the video file and then compressing it using JPEG. Okay, JPEG was originally not developed for the web, but now the primary use of JPEG has become for the web. And what it is giving you is that compression ratio at which you can see the type of quality that people want to see, but also get it at a data rate that you can actually send it across the web. So this has been possible before. What in addition you saw today was the inclusion of virtual reality type aspects or 3D graphics visualization type aspects brought down to those data rates. So you're absolutely right, we did not create the video tape in front of you, but it really is just an AVI file, which was the source from which the JPEG file was created. No, so this could be done for any video as a source.
So those are the highest end CPUs for notebooks at this point in time today. Roughly 6 months from now, we'll have a member of the P6 family that will be specifically targeted towards notebooks.
Mr. C, for that matter, Microsoft is also talking about the scale down to the net PC. So what is your stand on that?
Sure. As it turns out, the net PC is something that Intel and Microsoft announced the specifications roughly 3 months ago, or I believe something from Compaq is imminent. They've announced their intentions. So what Intel, certainly we recognize that the internet is opening up a whole new set of users, a whole new set of opportunities. We still believe that what computer is offered in terms of upgradability, in terms of using different sorts of software and so on and so forth. There is a small subset of users who we'll call limited function users. So there's a spec called NetPC that offers these set of users processing power, different drivers and so on and so forth. So we've developed a spec for those sets of people, and they will not have all that flexibility, so they'll be limited function users based on, guess what? A 200 megahertz Pentium processor with MMX. I mean, our vision is really simple. We want to make sure that the Intel processor is the processor of choice, from top to bottom for, we double the size of the internal cache and so on and so forth. So we are continuing to offer those who want to upgrade in the current existing infrastructure. We will continue to offer solutions for that, what is known as the Socket 7 infrastructure, which, as you know, is what we developed several years ago. So there will be solutions for those. At the same time, for those who are buying brand new systems, particularly in a corporate environment, we believe that they should look out and make sure that they don't buy a system that is going to run into bottlenecks. And which is why we put in so much energy in terms of these new technologies, not only at the CPU level, but at the system architecture level. The dual independent bus is the best example. The SSC cartridge is the second example, where we are going to have much more room for upgradability and higher performance down the road. There is some messages floating around in the internet right now that have talked about the possibility of some errata in the floating point. What we are doing is, ever since the Pentium processor floating point errata issue that came up roughly 3 years ago, what we do is very rigorously, we test every single input as to potential errata. We try to characterize it, and once it is characterized and known as a bug, at this point we do not know that it is a bug, but we are putting in every effort from an engineering standpoint to understand the issue. And then to the extent there is an errata, we promptly not only disclose it to our system manufacturers, but also to the user community. We have a web page that we maintain and update on a very regular basis that lists every single known errata. In fact, we are the only CPU manufacturer that does that, and we will continue to do that. So for example, there is a web page today that includes the errata, known errata, even in the Pentium generation. There are a lot of obscure things. A CPU is a very complex piece, and so as there are obscure errata, we document them, and we are very rigorous about it. The leader in video editing, they are a big champion now of porting all their tools over to Intel platforms. So that's the simple answer to the second part of your question. Let me introduce Shiva Kumar. Shiva, who's in charge of our technology center, and Shiva can talk about the first question.
Yeah.